Okay, this is a huge warning for a lot of people, not only on the West Coast, but the East as well. That's right, if it's not bad enough that Oklahoma is getting warned for residents to take cover now because of tornadoes touching down, but the West Coast is about ready to experience a bomb cyclone. We're talking about an atmospheric river about to hit the West Coast, and we'll go over the intensity and what to expect. And yes, it's not just the West Coast that's gonna get smashed with a whole bunch of water. Remnants of Tropical Storm Sarah is about ready to bring a lot of moisture, a lot of rain to the Gulf Coast of Florida as well. As we've seen before, this much water can bring catastrophic rivers, flooding and destruction, and even worse. Gonna get you the information so you can be prepared right now. My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Welcome back, folks. Got my water shirt on, my ocean shirt, because a lot of you are about to experience a lot of moisture. As always, thank you for the thumbs up. Helps this video reach more people that are going to need to see this. And if you know people on the West Coast or over in Florida, be sure to share this out. If you're in the area of western Oklahoma, you may have heard of tornadoes touching down, people getting warned, take shelter. So if you're in those areas, be careful. Okay, before we talk about Florida, we're going to talk about what's about ready to slam into the West Coast. And we've seen this type of thing before, and it causes all kinds of destruction. They're calling it a bomb cyclone headed towards the West Coast. This is currently happening as a low pressure is building and about ready to bomb out as it approaches the PNW. I'm going to show you guys the areas of impact and what you could possibly expect, but a little bit of information. An intense mid-latitude cyclone is expected to take aim at the west coast of the United States early this week, ushering a strong atmospheric river into Oregon and California. This low pressure system is likely to go through bombogenesis or a bomb out. Where do they get these terms? I swear. Whatever it is, it sounds bad. A term reserved for low pressure systems that intensify rapidly, typically with pressure drop and at least 24 MB in 24 hours. This definitely changes based on latitude. So that you guys know, the storm is headed towards the west Tuesday through Thursday. So I'm giving you guys a heads up so you can be prepared. It has potential to more than double the pressure drop, with forecast models showing the drop of 50 to 60 MB in less than a day, starting at over 1,000 MB Monday night, possibly dropping below 950 MB by Tuesday night. This intense storm system is expected to bring major impacts to areas of the Northwest and Northern California with heavy rain, strong winds, and big swells. Folks, we've seen this stuff hit the coast before. I remember reporting on the last bomb cyclone, and it's no joke when they say this will create rivers and streets. Here's another visual. As the low pressure system develops, it will tap into a stream of subtropic moisture, creating what's known as an atmospheric river. These systems can create extreme precipitation and gusty winds. And if you're on the west coast of California, Oregon, I know you guys want to know how hard are we going to get hit in what areas. Let's check it out. This right here is a great model map showing what the University of California in San Diego has created, a scale to help you understand and prepare for the impacts from these systems, which range from 1 to 5. Some areas along the California coast will see a level 4 impact, which means the extreme category. Extreme. So as you guys can see, that little scale, you got no, AR, weak, moderate, strong, extreme, exceptional. And we've got extreme in a lot of areas from just below Brookings through Eureka, all the way down to San Francisco. Here's a zoom up of that scale real quick, and then right back to the map. Take another look at that, and you can see right where your guys are gonna be. I know there's a lot of folks down there in California that are part of our community along with Oregon, so hopefully this is helpful. And here's a little bit of radar to give you guys more of a sense. It's not just on the coastline that's gonna be affected. This is going all the way into the other states. If you live in a low-lying area that can flood, be ready to leave in case flash flood warnings are issued. Areas along the coast could also see strong enough winds to down trees and power lines primarily Tuesday to Wednesday. Folks, that's tomorrow and the following day. So get the power stations charged up, have provisions ready to go, so that way you can hunker down and not have to go anywhere. And for those of you in the southeast, not out of the woods with Tropical Storm Sarah, Wednesday and Thursday could be extremely bad. We're talking about upwards of 5+ inches of rain in some areas in just 12 hours, which means you guys are going to possibly see, most likely see, flash flood warnings. And we're talking all the way from New Orleans to Mobile, Panama City, all the way down to Tampa, and this will go inland all the way to Columbus, Savannah. What I'm saying is there's a lot of moisture headed your way. The good news is some of this moisture is going to be hitting some areas that have been dealing with some drought. So in one way, a good thing. But real quick, let's see a thorough insight on what you guys got coming.
Tropical Storm Sarah slammed Honduras over the weekend, and that rain kept coming down. We actually received reports of between 30 to 40 inches of rain. All of that energy is racing toward the Gulf Coast of the United States. So heads up from places like the Big Easy of New Orleans, Louisiana, and then across the I-10 corridor toward Tallahassee, Florida, because big time rain is on the way. Let's show you what the remnants of Sarah look like right now. Those winds down to about 30 miles per hour. It's crisscrossed the southern Yucatan Peninsula, bearing in mind too that this is a super mountainous region. Honduras actually has a mountain peak at over 9,500 feet. All of that rain that gets squeezed out of Sarah has funneled down those mountains into the creeks, rivers, and streams, and that's just one of the reasons why flooding has been a huge issue. Lots of moisture that area of low pressure was able to tap into, and we look at some of the steering currents, and basically what we're expecting is for that area of low pressure at this point, so it'll be the remnants of Sarah, to work through the Gulf of Mexico and basically come in a collision course with a cold front that'll help Britta to squeeze out all of that residual moisture right over the Gulf Coast of the United States from New Orleans through Florida, and we're talking some really demonstrative rain.
I mean, the only upside is that this cold front is moving it, so that's going to limit the amount of time that we have to deal with the flooding rain, but also it can focus it into one specific area as it marches off towards the east. The heaviest rain easily is Louisiana through Mississippi and Alabama, probably the Florida Panhandle getting its taste as well. So it's interesting because if you go back to last Friday, there was questions on if the heaviest rain was going to be for the peninsula of Florida. Looks like the Panhandle is going to get the brunt. With that said, the peninsula does get into it. All of that moisture rides through Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, but then the cold front scours out the atmosphere, and we have a nice shift in the winds, lower humidity moving in for the end of the work week. But this is going to be a wild 12-hour window that a lot of this rain is going to fall. So Mobile, Alabama, 3 to 5 inches rain in a 12-hour window. That's a significant flood risk. We have flood watches that are up, but as we get closer to Wednesday, the verbiage is probably going to get a lot more aggressive because 3 to 5 inches of rain in a 12-hour window, that will cause a short-term flash flood threat. Long-term goal, though, we have drought, and this is going to fall exactly where we need it. So there is at least a silver lining to this weather story, but I got to let you know, Wednesday is going to be rough as this heavy rain does arrive.
So there you have it. These are the warnings that you guys appreciate. That way you can be better prepared. Again, you want to prepare for flooding type scenarios. Power outages are probably going to be imminent. You guys want to have water on board. You don't want to be looking for clean water when everything goes out. And you don't want to have to be traveling on streets that have flash flood warnings. Please let me know if you guys are in the area, if you're prepared. Share this out so more people can be aware and prepared. I've got a lot of preparedness videos I've done in the past. If you guys have missed them, be sure to check them out. As always, got more coming down the pipe. Be sure the notification bell's on, and keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you on the next one.